What's going on guys, Messi here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to your daily dose of transfer content. And today it is going to be Sunday the 23rd of August and a happy Champions League final day, and today we have got confirmed deals to go through as well as the rumours. So just before we get started, if you could do our good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yesterday's episode will be down below in the description box, and the current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time, there'll be a new video for you to look forward to. And finally, drop a comment below, I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Right, so first up today, MLS side Minnesota United have signed Emmanuel Reynoso, and it's from Boca Juniors. The fee is a reported $5.5 million, and the 24-year-old has put pen to paper on a 3-year deal, and it also includes the option of a further year. Juventus have decided to terminate the contracts of both Gonzalo Higuain and Sami Khedira. This is according to various different outlets including Sky Italia and Fabrizio Romano. The two players will leave Turin as soon as an agreement on final payouts is reached. Both will be able to move on as free transfers after that, just like Blaise Matuidi did about 2 weeks ago to Inter Miami. Yes, they both aren't as reliable and maybe not good enough for Juventus anymore, but whatever team they join, I think they're doing a right job there, and the only thing to consider about it is that they will require a fairly large wage. The next one is Olympiakos have signed striker Ahmed Hassan. It's on a permanent deal from SC Braga in Portugal at a €2 million fee, and the 27-year-old has signed a 3-year contract. Fenerbahce have signed Trabzonspor captain Jose Sousa, and it's on a free transfer on a 2-year deal. The 35-year-old has previously played for clubs such as AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Napoli, Bayern Munich and Besiktas. And I forgot to ask you guys at the start of the video, but would you be interested on days that are pretty quiet for transfer rumours and confirmed deals? Would you be interested in me uploading a ranking video? I know a lot of people do them on the Tier Maker website, where you basically drag the pictures into the different categories and you give your opinion. I could do that with the best transfers of 2020, for example, maybe new Premier League players. Let me know if you're interested down below. But back onto the transfers then, and this next story is from Telefoot. They're saying Slimani is close to completing a move to Rennes. The Leicester striker spent last season on loan at Monaco and he done a fairly good job for them, or a very good job. But he looks set to make a permanent switch to Ligue 1 and the fee is about €8 million. Rennes do have Champions League football to offer, so that could be very tempting for him, and for €8 million for a player that scored a decent amount of goals last season, I think is good for pretty much everyone. The next story is from Calcio Mercato. They're saying talks between Edinson, Cavani and Benfica, they have broken down. The Uruguayan striker appeared close to joining the Portuguese giants, but the club cannot afford to match his wage demands. Benfica are considering a sweep for 21-year-old Darwin Núñez instead, while Cavani was previously wanted by Inter, Juventus, Lazio and Roma. I'm not sure how much truth there is in that story because pretty much everywhere else is saying the opposite, that Cavani will be joining Benfica. So we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. We should find out very soon. And the next story is from L'Equipe. They're saying Bayern Munich defender Benjamin Pavard is a subject of interest from Paris Saint-Germain. The French champions are considering launching a bid for the 24-year-old and they'll do so after the Champions League final. Pavard could feature against his potential suitors when Bayern do face PSG in today's final, having just returned from an injury layoff. Bayern are reportedly asking for about €45 million for the World Cup winner, who can play at right back or centre back. Fulham and Wolves are set to move for Watford midfielder Abdoulaye Doucouré, with Everton having a £15 million bid rejected. This story is from TalkSport, but reports in France suggest that Everton have agreed personal terms with Doucouré, but more teams are now showing an interest and they could face a bit of competition for his signature. Chelsea are readying a move for Lille goalkeeper Mike Mignon. It's as an alternative to current shot stopper Kepa, who his future has been up in the air for some time now. That story is from the Daily Star, and it looks like the keeper wouldn't cost too much money, and what they do with Kepa will have to wait and see, whether they loan him out back to La Liga, or they try and squeeze as much money out of him as possible. Barcelona have made a €10 million bid for Manchester City youngster Eric Garcia, and this story is from Mundo Deportivo. The Catalan side are waiting on City's answer, but are not willing to improve on that fee. If City reject the bid, Barca will wait until January to get him for a lower price or sign him for a free next summer. His contract is set to expire, so he could sign a pre-contract agreement in just a few months' time. If Barca do get him for that type of fee, I think it's a great bit of business. He showed that he's got a lot of potential at Manchester City, and Pep did confirm a couple of weeks ago that the player himself, he has no intention of renewing his contract. Manchester Evening News are claiming that Lyon striker Musa Dembele, he could be on the move this summer. The former Celtic frontman has attracted interest from Manchester United in the past and is closing no doors as he weighs up his options. He was constantly linked to United and Chelsea for about 6 months. The Chelsea rumours did stop when they brought in Timo Werner, but United apparently are still in the market for a forward. Wolves have joined the race for versatile Arsenal player Ainslie Maitland-Niles, and this story is from Sky Sports. Brighton have been heavily linked with a 22-year-old, as have Newcastle, but it could be that he ends up heading to Molineux instead. And the last couple of days he has featured in the episodes being linked to Tottenham. Obviously that would be a very controversial switch for him because of the rivalry between them and Arsenal, but it looks like Mourinho is interested, but there's a lot of competition for him. Newcastle are considering an approach for Juventus midfielder Aaron Ramsey, and this is according to Tutto Juve. The former Arsenal star could be brought back to England, that's after just one season with the Serie A champions. It looks like the Welshman isn't part of Pirlo's plans, with the rumours saying that he has been offered to Wolves, that's in part of a swap deal including Raul Jimenez. And he's a player that still has a good amount of ability, like don't get me wrong. It hasn't really worked out for him in Italy, but he definitely showed how good he was in the Premier League for Arsenal. And speaking of Arsenal, according to Calcio Mercato, they're saying that Arsenal have spurned Juventus' attempts to organise a swap deal that will see Daniele Rugani move to the Emirates Stadium and Hector Bellerin go the opposite direction. The two sides held talks over an exchange, but they have been unable to reach any type of agreement. And there have been a fair few players linked between Arsenal and Juventus. For example, the main one is Alexandre Lacazette, and Juventus have been offering Bernardeschi in the opposite direction. And next story is from Calcio Mercato again. They're saying Alessandro Florenzi is wanted by Everton and Atalanta, while Inter Milan are now the latest team to register an interest. The 29-year-old spent the second half of last season playing for Valencia on loan, but now Roma want to move him on, but it wouldn't be for a temporary basis or a temporary loan deal, it would be a permanent this time. Wolves are considering a bid for Sevilla star Lucas Ocampos, that's to replace their current star Adama Traore, and this story is from Sky Sports. The Premier League side are expecting a few bids for their star Spaniard and see the man who knocked them out of the Europa League as the right player to take his place. Ocampos obviously was part of the Sevilla team that won the Europa League on Friday night, and maybe he could be making the switch to the Premier League. And now we have got a story from The Athletic. They're saying this isn't exclusive and that Chelsea are close to an agreement with Leicester City, that's to sign England left back Ben Chilwell. The deal is now almost done. The 23-year-old has undergone medical checks on a heel injury in London and is out for about 3 more weeks. Chelsea are being informed on the situation and the transfer itself could be completed next week. Fabrizio Romano has added that Ben Chilwell has agreed personal terms with the Stamford Bridge side. The clubs will now come to an agreement in the coming days, and the rumoured fee from pretty much every outlet is about £50 million, which makes him the joint most expensive left back of all time. I know technically people consider Luka Hernandez as the most expensive at 80 million, but technically he's actually a centre back now, so he doesn't really count. Whereas the most expensive left back after that is Benjamin Mendy when he made the £50 million move from Monaco to Manchester City. And speaking of Manchester City, we have another story about Houssem Aouar, and this time it is from ESPN. They're saying Man City have approached Lyon about midfielder Houssem Aouar. That's after their defeat in the Champions League last 8. Aouar was very key in both games against Juventus and Man City, and unfortunately for Lyon they fell short against Bayern Munich. and City will face competition for his signature, as I mentioned before, Juventus, but Arsenal have also put their name in the hat. They've offered Matteo Guendouzi to Lyon as part of a swap deal, but it looks like Lyon have essentially ignored that. They think the offer is far too low. More talks though are scheduled between Lyon and the Gunners, so long-term admirers Manchester City will have to muscle in and move to the front of the queue instead. Lyon have told AOUAR they are willing to let him go. That's despite his contract expiring in 3 years' time. So from one player potentially going to the Etihad Stadium, now we have one that might be leaving, and this story is from The Athletic. They're saying that Barcelona are showing an interest in Manchester City left-back Angelino, who spent the second half of last season on loan at Leipzig. New Barcelona boss Ronald Koeman is thought to be behind the interest, with City demanding around €30 million. It's essentially the same fee that Leipzig had as an option to buy, but they decided against it. Jordi Alba was on the list of players that could be sold by Barca, so this story might have some truth to it. The Daily Mirror are saying that Leeds are reportedly considering moves for Liverpool pair Divock Origi and Ryan Brewster. The Premier League new boys are trying to prepare for life back in the top flight, that's following a 16-year absence. And this report does say that Leeds are interested in signing Origi on a permanent deal. That's if they can't wrap up a transfer of main target, which is Celtic striker Odsonne Edouard. They also mentioned that Bielsa is keen to take Brewster on loan for the season, though Liverpool want him to get as much first-team football as possible. And Origi is open to the idea of leaving Liverpool, but he wants to remain in the Premier League. And the final story today is some breaking news for Arsenal fans. So Brazilian sources have told Saber Desfa, who is a journalist that works for Telefoot in France, that Gabriel will finalise contractual details with Arsenal today, so Saturday and yesterday for you guys. That's ahead of a €30 million move, and he'll sign a 5-year contract. The Gunners seem to have beaten the likes of Napoli and Manchester United to his signature. It looks to be some fantastic business. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do that good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yesterday's episode will be down below in the description box, and the current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time, there'll be a new video for you to look forward to. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.